Why you playing with love? I ain't chasing. I see proof that she yours, you could take her. She ain't love me at all, then replace her. You my brother, I ain't counting no favors. Gotta watch him if he bring up favors.
Yo, what's good, y'all? What's good? Let me tell y'all something. Y'all see the title of the video. Y'all see what I'm bringing up here. I know it's something a little sketchy, a little something crazy, but I want to be the first to tell you that we're reacting to something right now. We're not even going to get into my whole specifics. To be real with y'all, I'm looking simply for B-roll. If y'all know what B-roll is, it's more necessarily of context, evidence, so I can create my own video. I got a whole video laid out. I just need more evidence. And he's bringing in the evidence that I don't even have to necessarily go look up or do additional research on. So I got to shout out, what's his name, we gonna do a whole video, probably a 30-minute video on X's case, the conspiracies around it, and the evidence that can also be proved. But he got a lot of evidence to show y'all, a lot of evidence to show me. So let's get straight into it, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? Is y'all ready?
It's been 5 years since xxxtentacion was shot and killed, and fans are still eager to know exactly what happened. Now, don't get me wrong, we have plenty of information of what went down at the crime scene, thanks to different angles provided from security cameras and bystanders. We know for a fact that X first withdrew $50,000 in cash from a Bank of America, before he was then followed into a motorsports store in his native Florida, where he was sadly shot dead moments later. His killers Michael Boatwright, Dedrick Williams, Trayvon Newsome, and Robert Allen claim to have no major ties to X, and that they were only looking for someone to rob. However, with X's half-sister claiming that somebody on the inside knew where he was going to be, and a few other suspicious details we're going to discuss later in the video, there may be enough evidence to prove that X's murder was a hit job.
Bro, let me tell y'all something. In a robbery, I don't know if y'all niggas ever been in a robbery. I don't know. I've seen it in movies. Whatever. You feel me? Once you get the objective, motherfucker, the job done. You know what I'm saying? What Kobe said? No, job done. Job is not what Kobe said, because Kobe said job not finished. And I guess they finished the job. But reality is, nigga, like, job done, nigga. You got the objective, nigga. They already grabbed the Louis bag. They got the 50 bands, nigga. And now it was a certain point where X was just copping and pleading for his life. Like, please don't shoot me. I got a kid on the way. Please don't shoot me. I got a kid on the way. They already got the bag. There was no purpose in shooting that nigga. When I tell you X was not going to retaliate, bro, X was not going to retaliate, bro.
Then a robbery gone wrong.
I'm telling you, X was not gonna retaliate.
I'm Luesta. I make weekly video documentaries of things I'm into. And today, we're gonna investigate the mysterious death of xxxtentacion. Let's start by recounting the strange timeline of events that many people don't talk about.
Nah, not a coincidence.
It all starts with a black SUV that was driven by Dedrick Williams, along with 3 friends by the name of Michael Boatwright, Robert Allen, and Trayvon Newsome. Remember these names and labels, as they will all play a pivotal role in the story moving forward. At 8 p.m. on June 17, 2018, only one day before X was murdered, a woman by the name of Tony Robinson rented a 2017 Dodge Journey using the Turo app. She was a close friend of Dedrick Williams. They chose to only rent the car for one day, making it align perfectly with the day X was killed. Coincidence? Well, when you consider the actions the following day, it seemed evident that they had something big planned. Breaking down the timeline of events, a Reddit user by the name of Zephaniah made an interesting point. At 1:18 p.m. June 18th, Boatwright goes to Dedrick's home and stays until 3:03 p.m. when Allen and Newsome arrive, and Dedrick Williams asks Sherrod Clayton to babysit his children before he leaves. In the meantime, X is currently with Leonard Kerr, the guy who was in the car with him at the time of the murder, and withdraws $50,000 in cash. In my opinion, the timing of him asking for his neighbor to babysit his kids makes me wonder if he was being fed information by the second and had to make that decision on the spot. Given that the vehicle was rented in advance, but he didn't have a plan for his kids. Later in the video, you'll see why Zephaniah's statements make a lot of sense. Once X and his uncle Leo arrived at Riva Motorsports around 3 p.m., Dedrick and Robert Allen are seen appearing shortly after to confirm that X was in the store, before going on to purchase 2 black ski masks. This is also another strange detail, being that his face would already be caught on surveillance camera when he entered. So was the motive to disguise guess his identity or confirm that his target was there. Nonetheless, X weirdly didn't spend any of his cash at the store and decided to head out after about a half an hour passes. However, as they were heading out to what was said to have been the only exit, the rented black SUV we mentioned earlier blocked their way, and two armed men in black hoodies hopped out and approached X's very identifiable BMW.
Bro, still like, my thing about this thing is, it's still like, X really could have skied out that city. I think the nigga was hella paranoid, bro. Cause the nigga was going, like, when I tell you X was in a hella paranoid position where he was at, bro, he was paranoid as hell, bro. Like, super paranoid. And it wasn't no, like, oh, like, niggas is trying to get me, bro. It was higher ups trying to get him. That nigga was paranoid, bro. I think that nigga froze the fuck up, bro. Cause if you look, nigga still had his whole leeway. He could have macked his car into that shit and still got out of that shit alive, bro. I'm telling you, like, it hit different, bro. The nigga was shook, bro.
After a struggle ensued and Uncle Leo fleeing the scene, X was brutally murdered with 2 shots to the neck after first refusing to let go of his valuable. Now, there's a few more things I found strange about this altercation. Considering there were 4 armed
that nigga
men
let go of that
against
shit before they shot,
man,
bro.
It seemed a bit odd for the killer to shoot X over a Louis bag, especially when he already had it in his possession before he killed him. Did they know how much money was inside the bag? Also,
exactly my point.
Did neither of the killers attempt to stop Uncle Leo from fleeing into Riva Motorsports and calling 911? For some fans and true crime enthusiasts, it all seems orchestrated. Particularly when X was a polarizing figure both in hip-hop and in the Florida neighborhoods that he had terrorized in his youth. How and why did they know that he walked back out with $50,000? It definitely wasn't a robbery gone wrong. This last comment definitely brings up an interesting perspective. As you'll see later in the video, that X and his killers may have been a lot closer than you think. But first, we need to know a little more about X's upbringing. For those who don't know, throughout his younger days, X was a troubled kid who would engage in multiple serious crimes and a whole lot of street fights. These actions would eventually send him to juvie numerous times. He even opened up about how ready he was to get down with his opponents on the famous No Jumper podcast.
Are you a fighter? You've been getting a lot of fights?
Bro, I tell you, bro. I watched the interview 3 times, and the last time I watched it, it was on June 10th. Yo, I gotta say this, bro. I gotta stop smacking my mic, bro. I gotta say this. I watched this interview 2 to 3 times. The last time I watched this interview, it was June 17th, 2018. June 17th, 2018. And it was just crazy and mind-boggling to me, bro. Mind-boggling. That's probably the second or third time I watched it just to get a better perspective of who the fuck X was and like how much he elevated, bro. Like how much he changed his life, how much he evolved, motherfucker. And that shit was crazy. Like, gotta tell y'all, man.
4 years,
Armed robbery, armed burglary, possession of a firearm, armed burglary with dwelling, resisting without violence, grand theft of 3 charges.
He got a lot of charges.
Possession of oxycodone.
They was trying to direct file his ass.
It's also important to note that X's killers were also approximately the same age as him. So it's very possible that X had crossed paths with them in his youth. To emphasize how close their orbits were, X went to high school at Piper while Michael Boatwright attended Coral Springs just 15 minutes away. Though Boatwright was 3 years X's senior, it is highly probable that their paths might have frequently crossed, possibly within similar social groups. Intriguingly, they both spent time in juvenile detention centers located in Pompano Beach and Fort Lauderdale. Given that this area's population is around 300,000 people, one might wonder, how could their paths not have intertwined at some point? Still, despite all these potential connections, X's killers largely played dumb when asked if they had any inclination about who he was. But it doesn't fully add up. Throughout his testimony as a state witness in order to get a lighter sentence, Robert Allen maintained that X was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, and that it could have been anyone who was held up by them that day.
Whose idea was it to rent the vehicle?
You.
Why? Rob who?
Anyone.
His half-sister Ariana feels different. Speaking to The Sun, she suggested that someone had definitely set him up.
There's somebody inside that knew where he was going to be at the exact time.
I'm sorry, I gotta pause because I don't want to get too tight. But yo, if I can tell you somebody came to Miami. Like, let's say, hold on. Let's put this in hypothetical speaking. Let's put this in hypothetical speaking. What if I told you somebody that really didn't like X, really hated that man, came to Miami? Imagine he just came to Miami randomly and showed in y'all faces that he was in Miami. Imagine. And then a month later or a couple days later after he leaves, there's a post by X saying that somebody is trying to kill me. But hypothetically speaking, somebody came to Miami and showed all of us that he was in Miami. Let's not act like and mind you, dude, and not only did, hypothetically speaking, not only did dude come to Miami, but he also said that he spent almost damn near $1 billion in Miami. Coincidence? I think the fuck not. But hypothetically speaking, you know, nothing more than hypotheticals. Let's get on with the video.
And when he was leaving that exact time for them to know when to come and to do what they did.
From the very moment that the news broke, it was said that X's family and close confidants were skeptical about this being a random attack due to X reportedly being aware that he had enemies in his native Florida.
Fuck the enemies in native. I'm sorry, but I remember when this shit just happened, and I'm pretty sure it's not even there no more, bro. I'm actually gonna check it right now. Hold on. Pretty sure it's not even there no more. Let me not have a B-Lou moment. All right, good. I wonder if it's still there, so I won't look stupid. All right, that's gone. But let me show y'all real quick. Peep game. I remember back in like 2018, this didn't say death or dead. It said assassination. And I might have this screenshot. If I can get it, I'm going to prove it later. But back in the day, this didn't say died. It said assassinated. It never said died. It said assassinated. It got changed. Trust me. I'm telling you, I'm not bullshitting you, bro. That used to say assassinated, bro. No cap. Well, not bullshit, y'all. Back to the video, though.
Honestly, I hate to say it, but I don't believe it was a robbery, said ZX Flow, a close friend and producer for X. I know there were people who were very
same thing with Pop. It wasn't a robbery.
He came from an area where not a lot of people make it out. As a consequence of the danger, X was warned to beef up his security weeks before the murder. But hoping to retain a shred of a normal life, he refused. In doing so, he left himself open to attacks that would have been impossible with a full security detail accompanying him. Although comments such as ZX Flow's suggest that someone might have wanted X dead, what would they have to gain from it? Would it just be simple retribution, or were there financial incentives that went beyond the $50K that his killers made off with? Let's take a deeper look. Now that we have explained the oddly strange details of the case, it's time to take a look at why anyone would want xxxtentacion dead. Aside from the possibility that someone who X had wronged in the past might have had a vendetta against him, there is one argument which points to the one thing that makes the whole world go round: money. As I delved into with the video Why Rappers Are Worth More Dead Than Alive documentary that you can click at the end of this video, X's death caused his market value to explode massively. One person who might have financially benefited from X's death would be the label Empire. Having signed X to a multi-million-dollar deal just prior to his death, it's likely that the company would have taken a life insurance policy out on someone as volatile as X. This is nothing new. In fact, it's frighteningly familiar. And now that so many Empire-backed artists have died, including Young Dolph, King Von, and PNB Rock, there's a theory that Empire is sacrificing their artists for insurance money. But like I said, it's just a conspiracy theory. Then there's X's mom, Cleo Bernard. Since becoming the head of X's estate, her net worth has boomed to $10 million. After he passed, she came under fire from his entire fan base for everything from using X's last song to promote an artist she was managing, to allowing the BMW i8 that he had died in to become a museum exhibit. Nowadays, she lives in the lap of luxury, regularly posting pictures of herself in exotic locations, and limiting the comments on every post to stem the flow of negativity. Obviously, this is just a theory too, but it's one that Cleo was understandably not fond of. In 2018, she even sued Ariana for claiming that she was involved in the murder of her own son. Then you have the possible explanation that actually made it to the courtroom. Now, this part is really crazy, so you guys gotta stay with me here. It's that Drake was the mastermind of the whole operation. I seriously hate the fact I have to bring this up, but there's a bunch of evidence to back this up. Years ago, X took issue with Drake stealing his flow from Look At Me for the track KMT, and at one point, a tweet from his account read,
But
"If
yo,
anyone
before
tries to
I'm
kill
sorry,
me."
I got you. You see how he don't ever mention KMT ever. It's like that song really went under the radar after a while, and nobody ever gave a fuck about that song. Like, we don't even talk about it, and I don't know anybody that listened to it. I know nobody fucking don't listen to that shit, bro. I know nobody listen to it, but it's crazy how under the radar that shit is, bro. Like, nobody ever give a fuck about that song, bro. It's crazy. I don't know why I'm bringing it up, but something tell me to bring that shit up.
You guys may know, Drake. Later, X would claimed he was hacked, but Dedrick Williams' attorney thought this was so crucial. Later, X would claim was at E, and at one point, a tweet from his account read, "If anyone tries to kill me, it was at Champagne Poppy," which is, as you guys may know, Drake. Later,
why would he say
X
that?
claimed he was hacked. But Dedrick Williams' attorney thought this was so crucial that he even attempted to get Drizzy Drake to appear in court, and claimed that because the county wanted this high-profile case wrapped up fast, they didn't fully explore this possibility.
Guys, before he does, if anybody kills me, it's Drake. Do you think in that time span that they went and they addressed him, they talked to him? No. Do you think sitting here today, years later, any detective has ever asked, Drake or anybody like that? No. They never did that. So you ask yourself, how could that be?
Despite their best efforts, the attempt to get Drake to appear in the courtroom was thrown out. And honestly, I'm not surprised. Because not only would Drake never risk his career and freedom by calling in a hit on one of the most famous rappers in the world,
no idea.
But X's eventual killers are the last people you would hire to do the job.
Cap.
It's hard to underestimate the stupidity of the four men who claimed X's life. Let's start with Dedrick Williams, arguably the dumbest of the bunch. He walked into the store with tons of camera angles pointing directly at his face and buys 2 ski masks during the summer. In addition, he was wearing orange sandals before, during, and after the killing. Rather than laying low, he also immediately went on a shopping spree. He would then show off the money he stole on Instagram alongside Boatwright and Newsome, all being caught red-handed posting with the ill-gotten cash. But wait till you hear what Michael Boatwright, the one who pulled the trigger, did in court. Alongside smiling throughout the trial, he infamously blew a kiss at X's family after being handed a life sentence. This behavior was also seen in a video of him posted after X's death.
What y'all doing, bro? I don't got nothing. What y'all doing, bro? What y'all doing, bro? I don't got nothing, bro. Please don't do it. Please don't shoot me. I got kids. I got people to live for. Please don't. Fuck that nigga, man. Y'all should have heard this nigga last words, bro.
When it came time to let him know his fate, the judge didn't hesitate to remind him of the dark future ahead of him, after he had been accused of not taking the trial seriously whatsoever.
You'll spend every hour, and every day, and every week, and every year of your life in that cell. And one day, they'll come and open up that cell in the morning, and you'll have passed out. And only on that day will you have served your sentence.
So yeah, it's no surprise that X's killers would all eventually receive life sentences, except for the one person who was willing to snitch on everyone, Robert Allen. At the time of this recording, he only has 2 years left in prison, making him the smartest of the stupid bunch. The rest will be rotting behind bars for eternity.
That's a great video, yo. That's a great fucking vid, bro. I can't lie. W video, W vid, provided a lot of evidence. Ew. Tears and shit. Nah, no cap, bro. I don't know. I never seen that video about the nigga mocking X last words. I had never seen that shit before. That teed me. I can't lie. That pissed me the fuck off, bro. That teed me. Oh well. Damn, that shit kind of got me tight. Let me get some time to regroup real fast. Alright, yo. I ain't never seen that last clip before. My fault, yo. That shit really motherfucking teed me in my head. I don't really get tight no more. I don't get mad. I just be chilling. I don't give a fuck about nothing. I think a lot of us take the world too seriously. Whatever. I don't usually get tight. I don't get mad. No, none of that shit. That pissed me the fuck off. Like, but more of the story. I mean, I'm gonna have my own little video, my own little conspiracy with a little bit of evidence too. There was some evidence that he provided in here that I'm gonna use as B-roll and make something great of it. But besides, for the most part though, like, certain things are too much of a coincidence for me. I seen there's timelines and shit that nobody's looking at that I'm definitely looking at. Like I said, I'm a student of the game. I look at context. So I'm not really, like, pressed over anything crazy right now. But for the most part, I'm telling you, like, that thing was definitely an assassination. That was definitely a hit. A lot of things changed in the music industry after 2018. Telling you. A lot of things changed. Some of y'all favorite people changed after 2018. But the reality of it all is, like, we fans, we people that just intake and all this bullshit that's happening in society, in the world of hip-hop, in the world that around us that we love. And then for the most part, for hip-hop and African Americans, our culture. So a lot of bullshit has taken place. Somebody like X who was trying to evolve and get better in life and do better things, and you know, he was going from a Pikachu to a Raichu, nigga. He was evolving, nigga. A Charizard to I don't even know. I think Charizard is the dragon. I forgot what's below a Charizard. Drop it in the comments. I can't remember. I gotta get back into Pokemon. But no cap, like that shit. There's so much more evidence in there that it may not be evident to y'all, but it's definitely more evident to me. Cause I said I'm a student of the game. I love context. So like, hey, I told you a hypothetical scenario. Somebody was in my X did a whole video called the Helping Hand Challenge. Go look at the video. It dropped January 2018. Right? What dropped at the end of February 2018? That music video was also shot in Miami, Florida, where the artist gave away close to $1 billion right after X started the Helping Hand Challenge. Just saying. All of a sudden, he dropped mad money. Y'all not saying nothing else besides that. I'm looking at the context. I'm looking at the timeline. But besides that, I'm going to make my whole little video to this. I hope y'all enjoyed this shit right here, bro. You feel me? So it was a good one. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we got to keep X's name alive for sure. We got to continue to put this out in the air because motherfucker, X was huge. He had some of the most positive and optimistic energy in the world. And we haven't seen another representation since that. And that's really where Ghost come in. And I'm hoping I can not fill his void, because I would never be able to fill his shoes, but be able to help. All positive and optimistic energy, because that's what the world needs right now. Fuck hatred.